Welcome back for video game news, and we are already at the 20th of course, March. Hard to believe that we are just a little over a week out from the beginning of April. But with that said, shows today in the background retro wave music. Hopefully you enjoy it. But with that said, first up, some box office info to go along with video game news. First up, recent stuff announced, actual profit and stuff for 2021 so far, or rather the last quarter, and overall for last year. Profit for the major streaming services. First up, Netflix, which did 29.7 billion, which is actually up 19% from year prior. Also, profits were up 35%. Warner, or rather Warner Media, also known as HBO Max, was up also pretty good amount. But overall, production-wise, Warner Media did 15 billion, which is up 23% from prior. Profit was 4.3 billion, up 10% from year prior. Sony is the big one though. Sony made 10.2 billion last year in their movie division, which is actually up 24% from the year prior, and profits 1.8 billion, which is up 90% from the year prior. So congratulations. Of course, a good amount of that goes to Spider-Man, obviously, as well as Venom and other great films that I think Sony actually did last year. Also, NBC Universal did 9.4 billion, which is up 16% from the year prior. They did 884 million, which is actually down 12% from the year prior. And Paramount did 3.1 billion, up 19%, and did 368 million profit, which is up 71% from the year prior. Last, Disney did 8.1 billion last year, down 89%, or sorry, down 8%. But yeah, still loss, and in profits they did 1.5 billion, which is actually down, I might add, which is down like 58%. Or, sorry, 50%. Next, we have an announcement, of course, of new game that has been released just recently digital, and if you want physical, you will have to go through Limited Run Games, which does have it available physical for Switch as well as for PS4, and that is the anime fighter called Phantom Breaker. PS4 rating for it is a 70% critic, no audience yet. PC, no info of any kind. Switch version has a 64% critic and has no info yet on audience, no info on Xbox One. Then we have a game that was released exclusively to the Switch, Chocobo GP, which is basically a Chocobo racing game, which is kind of interesting. 66% critic, which is better than the audience score, which is a 2.2. Pretty bad. Also, WWE 2K22 released. The Series X version has a 77% critic and an 8 out of 10 user. Xbox One, no info on critic, has a 9.4 though user, which is quite impressive. PC, 73% critic, 7.4 audience. PS5, 76% critic, a 7.9 audience. PS4, no info yet on critic, has a 7.7 user. So compared to the last few WWE games, the new one is doing far better. Among, actually, I would say, especially audiences, it's doing way better. Also, Monster Hunter Rise, we got announcement with looks at new monsters that will be coming this massive DLC for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak expansion coming out the 30th of June. It does look like it's going to be huge. Also, 3 new amiibos are going to be made available. Each amiibo used in the game will give you a special exclusive, like Halloween themed costume. And the costumes themselves are pretty good looking. So if you haven't seen, I recommend checking out. The amiibos themselves are okay. I probably will get them just for the exclusive skins that will include. Also, Sonic 2 new poster has been revealed, and it's looking. I really like it because it's a real nice head nod to the classic games. Also, Hogwarts Legacy got a big state of play thing. I have kind of mixed opinions right now on the Hogwarts Legacy. Also, we got the confirmed announcement of the games that will be mainlining EVO this year for 2022. Of course, this is the first official normal EVO, being, of course, now done by Sony. And you can tell there's definitely a bit of an upscale in production quality and everything with the new version of EVO, and no surprise, no Smash at all. Most of the games that have been announced are all games that have at least some type of DLC update and stuff that has come out. Now, I am sad to say, Smash I kind of expected not to appear, since that's a Nintendo property now that Sony controls. They're going to focus probably more on either multi-platform games or exclusive to Sony platform, because it's a good way to advertise your products. But with that said, I am kind of sad, unfortunately, that Soul Calibur 6 did not make it to the list this year. Sucks, because I think Soul Calibur 6 is still a really good, really fun to watch fighting game. Definitely, just in general. It's just very enjoyable. But I get it, they're doing games that strictly have at least updated or recent DLC. First up, Guilty Gear Strive was confirmed, not surprised at all. And arguably, this is probably the best, most successful Guilty Gear game in sales numbers so far. Also, of course, confirmed, no surprise, Street Fighter V. Given it just recently got like one last big balance patch update, I expect it to always be one of the headliners at EVO. Street Fighter will always be. Also, Tekken 7 has been confirmed, and I think that's because Tekken 7, like Street Fighter 5 did, get some DLC, or rather some patch updates and stuff for the game. So I think that's the major reason why it also was returning, plus the fact Tekken 7 is pretty successful overall. It is arguably probably the second best-selling Tekken game next to probably Tekken, I would say 3. Also confirmed, Mortal Kombat 11 is returning, not surprised. It is arguably one of the best-selling fighting games of all time. MKX and MK11 both have been very huge successes for both the fighting game community, as well as, of course, for NetherRealm Studios, obviously. Also, no surprise announces here, since just new game released. King of Fighters 15, of course, officially announced for the lineup. I expected it. I am happy to see that King of Fighters 14 is doing, or 15 is doing well. Hopefully it has a bit longer lasting than KOF 14 had. Though, so far, this game is way better looking, and the fact it has rollback, I think, will definitely help it survive longer. Also, one of the ones I'm kind of bizarre reaction to was the newer, anime-style fighting game called Melty Blood or whatever. It doesn't really interest me that much. I mean, I like anime fighters, so I'm very specific. The game just hasn't really caught my attention. I actually think Phantom Breaker has a better overall appeal to me personally. I prefer the music and the over-the-top stupid, like narrator for the trailers and stuff. I just really enjoyed and got a kick out of. Melty Blood, personally, I don't really feel anything one way or the other about, but I get it's a newer fighter, so I guess why not. Also, Dragon Ball Fighters is coming back. Kind of expected this one, not surprised one bit. Arguably very successful, very popular. And as a longtime Dragon Ball fan myself, I can say I'm not one bit surprised. Plus, the game has gotten like some balance patches and stuff over time. And so, yeah, I'm not surprised it's still going. Even if, of course, online is not great. Online has never been the biggest thing for me personally. But it does have a very hardcore, dedicated fan base. So, not surprised, this is actually a pretty big one for anime style fighting games, surprisingly. You have Guilty Gear, you have Dragon Ball Fighters, you have Melty Blood. Also, I am happy to confirm Grand Blue Fantasy Versus returns to the lineup again. As you know by now, big fan of Grand Blue. It was my game of the year for 2020. And I continue doing occasionally uploading videos of me playing the game, enjoying it, as well as the fact that just recently had two new, of course, DLC characters ahead, and they're looking about doing some more major updates coming in the near future for Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. Like, there's talks about a few more DLC characters down the line, as well as they're talking about possibly looking at actually implementing rollback netcode for the online play, which I think would drastically help the game here in the West. Even though I absolutely love the game, it's arguably, I think, the best looking, like, cel-shaded fighting game right now. Some people say Guilty Gear, but the style of Guilty Gear doesn't appeal to me as much as Grand Blue, just because I'm a big fan of, like, fantasy RPGs and stuff like that. And Grand Blue is a fighting game that actually really just hits that spot for me, personally. Last, of course, announced, I am glad that they're getting another chance. Given online is great with rollback, it's a really fun indie developed fighting game that I think more people need to try out. The last confirmed for the lineup is Skullgirls Second Encore. Happy to see this game didn't, sadly at the end, did not get the chance last time, and I'm hoping this time, and hopefully get some more eyes on Skullgirls, because this is a game that genuinely deserves a lot more love than it gets. As somebody who has gone out of my way to get like multiple versions of the game, I am definitely glad in the fact that recently added like a more recent DLC character. Kind of pricey for one DLC character, but I'll probably end up getting it just to help support a smaller developer. Also, EA Play has been announced. They're skipping their live play thing for 2022. I have to say, I think many people's opinion, which is no love lost, no one really cares about UEA, except maybe a small, hardcore fan base. Because surprisingly, there actually are some hardcore EA fans out there. Don't know why, but whatever. Last, current ongoing, actually, right now, great eShop sale. This is strictly all going to be Square games right now. There's a big sale going on Nintendo eShop for Capcom and for also Square Enix. This one, I'll talk about Square Enix. Next week, I'll probably look at Capcom deals. But with the Square Enix stuff, you have the Collection of Mana on sale for $20. You have Dragon Quest 1, $3. Dragon Quest 2 for $4, and Dragon Quest 3 for $8. Then you have Final Fantasy 7, of course, Remaster for $8, Final Fantasy 8 Remastered, $10, Final Fantasy 9 for $10, Final Fantasy 10/10-2 for $25, Final Fantasy 12, The Zodiac Wars for $25, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remaster for $12, I Am Setsuna for $20. If you like old school RPGs from Square, check out I Am Setsuna. Also, Neo, The World Ends With You for $30. Also, Saga Frontier Classic for $17. Trials of Mana, $25. Lost Sphere, or Spear, however you want to say it, for $19.99. Also, Star Ocean First Departure R for $8.39. And last is Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition HD for $11.99. And with that said, that is it for this edition of Video Game News. Leave a comment below to me what your thoughts are. And as always, it's Goku Sun DBZ. Remember to thumbs up this video, like, subscribe. And also, everyone, as I've been saying lately in all these videos, our thoughts are with the people of Ukraine. Hopefully, this violence and this unneedless war ends soon for the sake of the people of Ukraine, as well as the people in Russia who are against it as well. But I'll see y'all soon enough. Stay safe out there.